In previous sessions, I have discussed conceptual framework of the chapter and also discussed two basic questions of sales variances. Today, in this session, in continuation with the previous sessions, I would like to deal a question of sales variances. As you all know that in sales variances, we need to calculate 5 different variances. That is sales value variance, sales price variance, sales volume variance, sales mix variance, and sales quantity variance. On your screen, information related to products, budgeted quantity and price, actual quantity and price given to you. There are 3 different products available to us: X, Y and Z. Budgeted quantity 8,000 units, 3,000 units and 4,000 units. Price per unit rupees 20, rupees 30 and rupees 25. Whereas in actual part 7,000 units are given for product X, 5,000 for product Y and 6,000 for product Z. Actual price charged by the company rupees 22 per unit, rupees 28 per unit and rupees 26 per unit. Using these detail, we need to calculate 5 variances. Before calculation of the variance, as you all know, we need to prepare a table. And this table is nothing more than multiplication of the quantity and price in order to calculate amount. Quantity multiplied by price is equal to amount. We have included budgeted amount of sales and actual amount of sales with the multiplication of quantity and price. Total of the quantity 15,000 units for budgeted part. It is known as TBQ, total budgeted quantity, and total actual quantity become 18,000 units, 7,000 plus 5,000 plus 6,000. It is known as TAQ, total actual quantity. So, with the help of these details, let us start solution of the problem and calculate all 5 variances one by one. First and foremost variance in case of sales, it is sales value variance. Formula: budgeted sales minus actual sales. As I discussed, you are free to change the variable. You can frame the formula in different way, like actual sales minus budgeted sales. Finally, your answer remain same because we have least concern with the mathematical sign of plus and minus. We need to interpret the detail for the purpose of finding the variance. Now expand the formula for our calculation purpose. Budgeted quantity multiplied by budgeted price minus actual quantity multiplied by actual price. So in short, you can write down the formula in this way: BQ into BP minus AQ into AP. As you all know, we have already completed our calculation in this table. This is budgeted quantity, this is budgeted price. So budgeted amount of sales is the result of budgeted quantity into budgeted price. Same way in case of actual quantity multiplied by actual price. So these amount represent actual amount of sales. So nothing to do with the calculation. Directly import the figure from the table. Product X, 1,60,000 budgeted sales minus 1,54,000. As the amount of sales decreased, revenue decreased, and as the revenue is decreased, it is adverse. So the result is 6,000 adverse. For product Y, budgeted sales 90,000, actual sales 1,40,000. As compared to budgeted sales of rupees 90,000, actual amount of sales is rupees 1,40,000. So our sales increased by rupees 50,000. As the sales is increased, revenue is also increased, and the revenue is increased, profit is also positively affected. So it is favorable. Third product, product Z. Budgeted sales for product Z is rupees 1 lakh. Against to our budgeted sales rupees 1 lakh, we have actually sold for rupees 1,56,000. You can say 56,000 more than that of our estimate. So sales is increased by 56,000. Our revenue is also increased by 56,000, and it is affected to our profit positively. So it's a favorable. Total sales variance 6,000 adverse plus 50,000 favorable plus 56,000 favorable. So 50,000 plus 56,000, 1,06,000 favorable minus 6,000 adverse. So the result is 1 lakh favorable. With this, our first calculation of value variance comes to an end. Let us enter into second variance. This is known as sales price variance. Formula for the calculation of sales price variance: actual quantity into bracket budgeted price minus actual price. You can convert this formula in abbreviated form: AQ into bracket BP minus AP. Instead of budgeted term, you can use term standard. Ultimately, it is one in the same for our calculation is concerned. Now, from your question, you can easily recognize the figure of actual quantity. Budgeted price is given over here, and actual price is given in the part of actual information. Using this, we need to calculate our price variance. For product X, actual quantity is 7,000 units, budgeted price 20 minus actual price 22. So 20 minus 22 is equal to difference of rupees 2 multiplied by 7,000 units. Total 14,000, and it is a favorable because we have charged more selling price than that of estimate. Product Y, 5,000 units, actual quantity sold by the company. Estimated or budgeted price is rupees 30, but the company is able to recover rupees 28 per unit only. So in this case, the company is suffering a loss, a decrease of rupees 2 in selling price per unit. So for 5,000 units, it is 10,000. As the sale price is decreased, revenue is also decreased, and the revenue is decreased, it is negatively affects to our profit. So the result is 10,000 adverse. Product Z, actual quantity 6,000 units, budgeted price 25 as given in the question, and actual price 26. It is also given in our question. 25 minus 26, it's a 1 multiplied by 6,000 units. So total amount of difference is 6,000. It is favorable because here we have charged higher sale price than that of our estimated standard or budgeted sale price. Here you can say that 14,000 is a favorable, 6,000 is also favorable, and 10,000 is adverse. So, in total, our sales price variance is rupees 10,000 favorable. After discussion of sales price variance, let us move to third variance. It is sales volume variance. Formula for the calculation of sales volume: budgeted price into bracket budgeted quantity minus actual quantity. At this point of calculation, I would like to remind you that you can change the variables in the formula. Your final answer with interpretation remain same. In abbreviation form, budgeted price, or you can say standard price, into bracket budgeted quantity minus actual quantity. Check the question. Budgeted price is given over here. Budgeted quantity is also given by the examiner in the question, and actual quantity is also available to us. Using these data, let us start calculation of volume variance. Product X, budgeted price rupees 20, budgeted quantity 8,000 units minus actual quantity 7,000 units. 8,000 minus 7,000 is equal to 1,000 multiplied by rupees 20. So 20,000, and as the quantity of actual sales is decreased, it is adverse. For product Y, budgeted price rupees 30, budgeted quantity 3,000 units, while actual quantity is 5,000 units. 3,000 minus 5,000 equals to 2,000 multiplied by 30 is equal to 60,000 rupees. Here, the quantity of actual sales is increased as compared to budgeted, estimated, or standard sales quantity. So, these 60,000 is referred to as favorable. Product Z, budgeted price 25, budgeted quantity as given in the question 4,000 units, while actual quantity given by the examiner is 6,000 units. 4,000 minus 6,000, it's a 2,000 multiplied by 25. So total amount rupees 50,000, and actual sales quantity is increased, so it is referred to as favorable variance. 20,000 adverse in case of X, 60,000 favorable in case of Y, and 50,000 favorable in case of Z. So total sales volume variance is rupees 90,000 favorable. 60,000 plus 50,000, 1,10,000 favorable minus 20,000 adverse equals to 90,000 favorable. With this, our primary variance comes to an end. Let us move to fourth variance. It is sales mix variance. Formula for the calculation of sales mix variance: budgeted price into bracket revised budgeted quantity or revised standard quantity minus actual quantity. In abbreviated form, B.B.A into bracket RBQ or RSQ minus AQ. Before starting solution related to mix variance, let us calculate revised budgeted quantity. Let us refer the question first. Our total budgeted quantity, that is a TBQ, is 15,000 units. Total actual quantity, that is TAQ, is 18,000 units. And budgeted quantity for X, 8,000 units, for Y, 3,000 units, and for Z, 4,000 units. Using information of TAQ, TBQ, and budgeted quantity of concerned product X, Y, and Z, we need to calculate revised budgeted quantity using the formula given on your screen. RBQ equals to TAQ divided by TBQ multiplied by budgeted quantity of concerned product. Let us calculate for X. 18,000 units total actual quantity divided by total budgeted quantity 15,000 units multiplied by budgeted quantity of product X, 8,000 units. For your verification, you can check over here. Total actual quantity 18,000 units divided by total budgeted quantity 15,000 units multiplied by budgeted quantity of product X, that is 8,000 units, for the calculation of revised budgeted quantity for product X, 9,600 units. Same way, calculate for product Y. 18,000 units TAQ divided by 15,000 units TBQ multiplied by budgeted quantity of Y, 3,000 units. So revised budgeted quantity for product Y is 3,600 units. And Z, using same mathematical calculation, you can explore the figure of revised budgeted quantity for product Z, 4,800 units. Right? Now, use this figure of revised budgeted quantity. Budgeted price is given to us in our question 20, 30 and 25 for product X, Y and Z respectively, and actual quantity 7,000, 5,000 and 6,000. Calculate mix variance. Product X, budgeted price rupees 20, revised budgeted quantity 9,600 units minus actual quantity 7,000 units. 2,600 multiplied by rupees 20, 52,000. As compared to revised budget quantity, actual quantity is less. So the result is defined as adverse variance. For product Y, 3,600 revised budgeted quantity minus 5,000 units actually sold by the company multiplied by budgeted price rupees 30. 1,400 multiplied by rupees 30, resulting into total amount of 42,000. And as compared to revised budget, actual quantity goes up. So result is defined as favorable. In case of product Z, budgeted price is rupees 25. Revised budgeted quantity as per our calculation 4,800 units, and actual quantity given to us in our question 6,000 units for product Z. So insert the figure in the formula, you will get the difference of rupees 30,000 in total. It is favorable because actual quantity is greater than revised budgeted quantity. So when actual quantity is greater, sales is greater. When sales is more, revenue is more, and revenue is more, profit is positively influenced. So it is favorable. Total sales mix variance rupees 20,000 favorable, 42,000 favorable plus 30,000 favorable equals to 72,000 favorable minus adverse 52,000. So 20,000 and mathematical sign is not important. We need to interpret as either favorable or adverse. So your final result for mix variance is rupees 20,000 favorable. With this, our mix variance comes to an end. Let us move to fifth and last variance of this solution. Sales quantity variance or sub-volume variance. Sometimes it is referred to as a quantity or sometimes it is referred to as sub-volume. Formula: budgeted price into bracket revised budgeted quantity, that is RBQ, minus budgeted quantity BQ. You can change the factors: budgeted quantity minus revised budgeted quantity. Ultimately, your result remains same. Budgeted price into bracket RBQ minus BQ. Product X. Budgeted price, you can check, it is given to us in the question. 20 for X, 30 for Y, 25 for Z. Budgeted quantity is also given for X, Y and Z, and here at the time of calculation of mix variance, we have completed calculation of revised budgeted quantity. So using these information, we need to calculate sales quantity or sub-volume variance. Rupees 20, revised budgeted 9,600, budgeted 8,000. As compared to budgeted quantity, revised budgeted quantity is greater, higher or more. So difference is favorable, 32,000. For product Y, same kind of calculation is applicable. Revised budgeted quantity 3,600 unit, while budgeted quantity is 3,000 units only. So with the difference of 6,000 units at the rate of rupees 30, we have found total variance of rupees 18,000 favorable. And in case of product Z, similar calculation is applicable for product Z. 25 rupees budgeted price, revised budgeted quantity 4,800 minus budgeted quantity as given by the examiner in the question 4,000. 800 units multiplied by 25 rupees. So 20,000 favorable. Total sales quantity variance rupees 70,000 favorable. 32,000 it is also favorable. 18,000 also favorable, and 20,000 is also favorable. So all three variances for product X, Y and Z are favorable. So we need to simply add all three items in order to find out total sales quantity variance. To verify your answer, you can prepare these kind of chart. Sales value variance is rupees 1 lakh favorable. Price variance as per our calculation, it is 10,000 favorable, and volume variance is rupees 90,000 favorable. So 90,000 favorable plus 10,000 favorable equals to value variance rupees 1 lakh favorable. Now there are subparts of volume variance. Mix variance 20,000 favorable that we have completed just before a few minutes, and sales quantity variance, last item that we have completed in our calculation, 70,000 favorable. So you can correlate everything. 20,000 favorable plus 70,000 favorable equals to 90,000 favorable. plus 10,000 favorable equals to 1 lakh favorable. I hope everybody is clear with this calculation. Thank you. See you in next virtual class. God bless you. Keep learning, keep growing.